Live.
Why don't you look at me? I've tried to be as open as I can. Why don't you look at me? I'm tired of being the invisible man. The invisible man. Oh, the invisible man.
Well, hello everyone and welcome to another edition of The Invisible Man. My name is Mark Deostala and as usual I am joined by my good friend Ryan Jans. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Good to see you, Mark. I hope you're doing well, considering we've just been locked down for this is a third time now, right? Number 3?
It is, at least.
So,
okay,
yeah.
so thank you very much for joining us. We were a little late getting the stream started, but I see audience is picking up there nicely. So give us a shout out. Oh, there's lots of people already chatting away. We'll read some of that stuff in a little bit. But first, if those of you who are watching, whether you're watching this live or recorded, please share, like the stream, subscribe, whichever platform you're watching on, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook. Be much appreciated. Thank you so much. Now on with the show. Let me get my. So hailing from British Columbia, that's right, it's right here in Canada. The Gravelaires play contemporary acoustic roots, North-Americana country and blues music, currently performing in the Vancouver area, pubs, clubs and cafes. The Gravelaires released their first album of original music, The National Avenue, in 2018. Their recent album, Headlights in the Rearview Mirror, was released in 2021. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Mark Branscombe and Michael Mahoney of the Gravelaires. How you doing, boys?
Well, thank you.
Good, we're doing okay out here.
Excellent. So are you suffering the same way we are with the lockdowns and everything?
We're opening up again here.
Okay.
We're resuming
That's why we're here. Last week this would have been illegal.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I guess you're right. And a year ago, Ryan and I were.
2 feet and as close as I'm getting.
Yeah, as I would say from time to time over the last year and a half was, don't go kissing any strangers. At least keep your tongue to yourself. Right.
Music, which is awesome, you know.
Yep, that's good. We are wondering when that's ever going to happen. It feels like it's such a long way off.
I think for you, when the snow goes away, we've been playing in the parks for weeks.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
We finally got rid of our snow about a month ago, and and about that time is about the time the second variant came around. So there was probably lots of people out in the park, but then we can't do anything.
Indeed.
Now because we're all locked down again.
Okay.
It's hard to rent a battery amp at Long McQuaid anymore. They're all chopped out of those.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ryan, can I get you just to turn your mic down just a little bit? That way, then I can then I can make sure our guests are a little bit louder as well.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, there we go. That should help then. That's great. Okay, so we got straight into the chit chat, but I think the most important thing is let's find out who our guests are. I do want to just mention that the Ormadales were originally slotted for being on the show today. A little bit back and forth between me and Bill. It wasn't going to work out. He suggested Mark, who's the other member of the Ormadales, could come on with his band instead. So which works out great, I think, for everybody. We'll definitely have the Ormadales back on later in the year if we can. So I just let that out. So to both of you, so Mark and Mike, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Yeah. Myself, I've been in Vancouver since about the 1980s. Came into town with a band called Mud Bay. We're a blues rock unit, 42 years old. And through the drummer of that band, Murphy, I met Mike. And we've been friends, going to playing in house parties and living rooms for years and years. And then I guess around just before the last U.S. election, I had some songs kicking around on an album of my own, and I hadn't been out to play them at all, and so I was trying to find somebody to play them with. So I phoned up Mike, and of course Mike said, "Sorry, Mark, who?" Next thing we knew, we were on Simon Fraser University radio about a week or so later, playing a few of these songs of mine, and then we motored on. Met up every week. We didn't really have any huge intention of doing much but playing music, and another stack of songs piled up, and we thought, well, why don't we just make some demos? And so we went off to the studio and we recorded all the songs that are on National Avenue there with our friend Jesse Waldman at Woodland Studios in Vancouver. And then we had some big ambitions last year about maybe doing something a little bit more developed. The first album, National Avenue, was pretty much me and Mike playing live off the floor, and we threw a couple overdubs on it, and that's it. But we wanted to incorporate a bit more into the music this time, and so we got going rehearsing, and then the pandemic broke out. We trimmed our sails again, and Mike and I worked last summer when we could, rehearsing out on his porch over here, and up to the studio to do a number of the acoustic numbers with Stephen Houston. He's a upright bass player here in Vancouver, and we had some other friends help us out with that. So as a result, we got half an album called Headlights in the Rearview Mirror. We'll talk more about that later. Over to you, Michael.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Actually, can I just jump in for a second? Ryan, your keyboard is ridiculously loud, so I don't know if you can mute your mic while you're typing. That'd be great. Right, sorry, carry on.
Well, just background noise. I mean, any kind of noise is welcome, at this juncture. I'm tired of hearing my neighbor's kids. I came to Vancouver in the 80s as well, and I've known Mark pretty much since I got here, but I hadn't really played music with him before he phoned me up. And our first concert was actually election day in the United States 5 years ago, whenever it was. So I don't know if anybody listened to us. Everybody was, at least in my world, collectively depressed. But at that point in time, we started playing. I've been playing reggae for a long time and bluegrass, and I can get by on mandolin and stuff like that. So it's been fun to play. I like playing with singer-songwriters. Singer-songwriters are that's original music. The singer-songwriter is a beautiful thing. It's the best part of music, creating something from scratch and making it work. And we get along. Somehow we got the chemistry.
Excellent. So you met originally then in the 80s. Was there anything? Were you just not aware that you were both musicians, or and what was the reason that
I'd gone to school with the drummer and his band's wife back in Ontario, and when I moved out here, I called her up, and then these guys used to have a place down on Mud Bay, which is now condos down in South Surrey, and they would have these parties down there at night back in the day, and we were all former punk rockers, so we knew how to party too hard, and we just started doing that. But in terms of playing music, aside from occasional sort of casual social events, and I say we're just enjoying it. I'm enjoying it anyway, and he got me writing songs, which is an interesting process, something I never bothered with before, which is kind of cool.
Excellent. Actually, we got a couple of comments from the audience. One of them was that our guests are quiet. Now, I've turned them up my end. Ryan, when you come back, just be careful when you with your mic and make sure that you turn it down a bit there. So we should be volumes all should be good now. And also, I've got my mic up a little louder than usual. I noticed I was quiet on the last show, and now they're complaining I'm breathing into my mic, so I'll move that away when I'm not talking. So a big thank you for Eleanor for pointing that out. We've got Chris Slady, Muttley is in the audience as usual there. I've got David Krause. And I think that's, unless I've missed anybody, I think that's everybody that's commenting. And it's a nice day outside. I assume Shalim has gone golfing.
Yeah, he'll probably catch the show later when it's posted to YouTube. So.
And yeah, if you can continue commenting in the comments there about the audio levels, we can still continue to tweak. We'd obviously like to get the guests to sound as great and wonderful as we possibly can. Right, let's move on. Let's move the conversation forward. I can get my interview questions up. So, I guess the puzzling question is, why the name Gravel Airs? The Gravel Airs. Well, it doesn't seem to be. I can't seem to figure it out.
All diamonds start as a piece of gravel, you know.
Okay.
All diamonds start that. It was Mark's idea. I like it. We're in East Van. East Van is a little bit, bluer than the most of Vancouver.
Hey.
And one of us, not me, likes old cars. LRs.
For me,
Okay.
I kind of had a feel about some music. When I grew up, it was out in Saskatchewan on the prairies, and there was, you might have had them in Manitoba, these really long stretches, hour drives on unpaved roads they were done with gravel. So if your dad was driving and you're in the back of the car, the gravel bouncing off the wheel wells makes this crazy sound. And I kind of was thinking about that sound, and I called it gravel rattle. And I thought, well, maybe that's a band name or something. And then tossing it around a bit, we thought Graveliers would be all that more suave. So, so that's what we came up with.
There's a surprising numbers of piles of gravel around town if you look for photo ops. It's amazing.
So actually, I learned that my family went back to
That's right.
had some business with aggregate. And for me, as a youth growing up in the Fraser Valley, we used to party in gravel pits. So there's, kind of that connect with aggregate.
You try and explain partying in a gravel pit to somebody who didn't grow up in the prairies, and they're like why would you do that? And you're like, it's like the best fun ever, man. It's like the best fun. You can like throw stuff in the water, and like everybody's like gone. Nobody leaves you alone. It's like the perfect place to party. And
somebody'd have the Craig Power Play 8-track player with the speakers on the roof, right? And cranked, and stubby bottles of beer, and more marijuana than you could handle.
Well, my experience wasn't so much with the stubby bottles, because by the time I was old enough to even entertain the idea of drinking, stubby bottles were more of a sort of a nostalgia retro special thing, right? Whereas everything was long necks and twist off caps. But someone would always have their car backed up, and everyone would pay like a couple extra bucks so the guy could run his engine, and he'd have the back, like the hatch or the doors open, so you could just have the music going.
Yeah. I could see Mark kind of glazing over there. We should go over to the next question because he didn't grow up out.
No, I've been here for longer than some of our audience have been alive. I'm more Canadian than most Canadians are. I've been here for 30 years.
Can you bottle with anything?
I'm sorry?
Can you open a beer bottle with anything? That's a true mark of a Canadian growing up in gravel pits.
Well, with all due respect, beer drinkers in North America are a bunch of pussies, because in the UK and in Europe there are no twist tops. So I can take off a bottle that does not have a twist top. There we go. Fighting words, eh?
Oh my goodness. It's a good thing we're half a country apart right now, because.
Anyhow.
Yeah, no, I certainly remember that. One time we went off. I was so used to having the twist tops. A buddy of mine, we decided to go out drinking late one night, and we bought Heinekens and not realizing that they weren't twist tops. And so here we are trying to pry the thing off on a chain link fence. But by now it's all shaken up. So it looked like a champagne cork had gone. It's like this fountain of beer. We're like, trying to. When you're 16 to 17 years old and you've duped over the people at the liquor commission so that you could that you could get yourself a bottle of
We're
beer.
going to reel Ryan in and get on to the next question, maybe.
Maybe. Well, I just wanted to, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the show. The second half of the show is going to be the Gravelaires playing some songs that we've got 4 tunes prepared, or they have, I should say. So it's going to be great. So we'll start that in probably about 5-10 minutes, give or take. We'd like to encourage you guys to get your questions in. I saw that Elna did ask the question about what does the Gravelaires mean, so thanks, Elna, I beat you to it. Or I didn't see it and said it after you. Yeah, so let's move forward then. That's nothing there. We've got... So you both... actually, no, I'm going to skip a couple of questions here. I'd like to, just because we want to get to the music and we've got some more important things. The CDs, so you released those 2 CDs, you talked about them at the beginning, National Avenue and then Headlights in the Rearview Mirror in 2021. Or was it 2020? Yeah, 2021, right? I've just got my years wrong. What were there any... is there any themes in either of those CDs? Do you write with an album in mind, or how do you approach those collections?
National Avenue was... National Avenue is over by our rail station. And historically, that's where everybody would arrive in Vancouver. So that song kind of, it's a bit about arriving in Vancouver and how things might go for you or not go for you. And so we actually went down there to film a little promo video and had a look around at what was happening in that area. And, there's people living in the streets and squeegee people and all the rest of that going on. It's not too far out of the Lower East Side where Mike used to work. I don't know, it just seemed to be, we wanted to make kind of a Canadian roots record. And, if there's an avenue that runs across Canada, it might be the railway, it might be the CBC, that we've yet to be played on.
Yeah.
Like that. So that was kind of maybe the only premeditated thought about a concept album. What did you think about the whole process?
Well, the last one was, those are songs written by guys who've been around for a bit, as opposed to, the songs you write when you're young. That's the long and short of it. Bitter Man, stuff like that. It's about where you end up later in life, as opposed to where you start. You start with optimism and happiness, which, by the way, is where I'm at. But
Indeed,
you got to earn it.
Excellent. So I might suggest, was there something you missed about the across Canada? We have the Trans-Canada Highway, because it literally goes right across.
As well, yeah.
And I drive on it. And I drive on it every day for work. There we go. It's literally here.
We can't get much further than 100 clicks up the road right now, just because of the travel restrictions in BC. But about mid-June, we're all aching just to get out of town and get out to our lakes and camping places like that. And maybe go see some friends and family out of town.
Excellent. Which was the Rearview Mirror came out this year, and so I understand you were working on that for a while. Was there anything about the last 18 months or so, the wonders of our political and social lives, that might be covered in any of that CD, topic-wise?
Social events?
I don't think so. It was an interesting experience because we had to go small, so we picked up a bass player. So we were basically, when we recorded the thing, we're at that point, we're in a bubble, but we rehearsed outside, and it's odd to go into a studio and you hear things differently in the studio than you do playing outside. And we recorded in different rooms, and they're wearing the masks when you're not actually singing and all that sort of stuff, which, by the way, all got used to fairly simply, and we just sort of snuck in October, November. We had to really motor to get it done before things shut down again.
yeah, we had a little bit of a lapse in the case count, and we were just being really, really careful in the studio, you know, keeping great distance away from each other and taking breaks, leaving windows open and stuff like that. We actually had to come back and retake one of the bass parts because he'd left the window open in the studio and the traffic was happening outside. But as far as the material on headlights in the rear view mirror, we were already well into it. We had 14 or 16 songs that we were planning to, you know, next time we got around to a studio, we were going to record them. And once we boiled them down to the acoustic tunes that we could actually do, you know, with limited personnel, kind of a theme developed from the style of songs that ended up on it. And as I said in our press kit, it's sort of music that might have come out of what we'd absorbed in the last century, you know, things that had been played on tube radios, might have been heard in jukeboxes or little cabaret joints, and maybe at vaudeville. One of the tunes, vaudeville 1928, actually, I had a chat with my my Aunt Jackie up in Salmon Arm, BC, and she actually danced at the Pantages Theatre in Winnipeg during vaudeville days. So I asked her all about that and did the research on vaudeville and kind of retold the story of how it kind of, you know, the time span when it was coming to a close. So I had a great chat with her, and I sent the song up to her and thanked her very much for her input on it. The Drinking Man's Curse on this one is kind of, I don't know, Mark, if you've been in an English pub at closing time, midweek, and you might have stayed too long, and you did have a work shift in the morning, well, that one's dedicated to guys like you.
Oh, okay.
Mike, tell them about Starting to Get It.
That's just, you know, old man song, older man song, late in life, you know, starting to get it, that sort of stuff. Yeah, the biggest thing we had is like bass. I like stand-up bass noise, and not everybody does. So we had a lot of discussion. So you're going to hear lots of clacking and banging on some tracks, not so much on others. I got to bring this guy a little bit into, you know, the bluegrass world where all noise counts.
Yeah. Well, I feel the same on acoustic guitar. I like the squeak on the strings. Yeah, if too much it can be distracting, but it just makes it feel like you know, I'm in the room with the performer.
I was riding around with the wife yesterday, and she had her playlist on, and there's a lot of new music on there. And I was listening to the consistency of the rhythm, and it was almost driving me nuts because it was automated for sure, and then all the tones are just way, you know, a little bit too smooth. You can't hear the burr on them. You can't hear the, you know, the scratch and the jangle that is in some of the great old music that we grew up with.
Right.
All these songs were recorded with us playing, the three of us at this point playing. We did some overdubs and stuff, but the basic tracks were the three of us playing and singing live. The vocals are usually, not exclusively, usually the ones we caught when we were playing live. And the weirdest thing for me about this 7-song collection is there's 2 waltzes in there. And, you know, there's 2, 3, 4 songs. And I have a thing about 3, 4 songs is I don't like polkas. Apologies to those who do. And, you know, waltzes have a way of turning into polkas if you don't know what you're doing. But anybody recognizes that outs you.
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, we've got a comment from Muttley. This was actually earlier. I did see it when he posted this. But I just wanted to let you know that Muttley in the UK just brought the music from Bandcamp and the CD of Headlights in the Rearview Mirror and a digital of National Avenue.
Thank you.
And he says, love and sausages. And so with that, we've got Muttley's question. He's a regular, and we like to ask all of our guests this question. Not music related at all, but we have a little bumper to lead us into it. So the question is, sausage sarnie or bacon butty? Or vegan equivalents?
I'm not entirely sure what either of those are.
Excellent. That's
but
great.
Personally, I'm an omnivore. I'll go with the bacon one because I don't know what kind of fucking European sausage you make.
Okay, so we'll just clarify that. I'm glad you said that out loud because we had, I think Jared, a friend of ours, been on the show many times. We asked him that question, and he completely missed the sarnie and the butty part, and he was just talking about the wonders of bacon. Thanks, Jared. And we cleared it up. It's actually, those are synonyms for sandwiches. So a bacon sandwich or a sausage sandwich.
Bacon.
Okay.
I'll take the veggie lakes. I gave up the animals a while ago.
Excellent. Okay.
But
So we should go back and actually tally these up to see which is the most popular. Anyhow,
I think bacon's probably edging out, but there's actually been a surprising amount of sausages. I think I voted for both because the first time I remember Muttley asked that to me the first time, and he was like, "I didn't know what they were either." So my response was first one, then the other. Which,
yeah. Indeed.
English cuisine is not. I've been to England and I've eaten there. Enough said.
It's lovely, and the golden rule is, if it's not fried, it's not breakfast.
I do like the French fries in the paper bag with the peas on it. That was good.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I'm rather partial to a sausage in batter with my chips. Anyhow, the UK members of the audience will know what I'm talking about. Okay, we've actually gone past the 25-minute mark, and we've got some great music to get through. So if you guys are ready, would like to hand over the stage to you. And don't forget, Ryan, to mute your mic and turn off your camera. Okay, so here they are, the gravel airs, and I'll hand over to you guys.
All right. I guess we're still in tune.
I hope so. Yeah, it's so confusing, but we'll be okay.
So this one is it's our payday song. Yesterday was payday for those of you still on the workforce or the serve force or whatever force you be. So let's give this a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got tails around in circles. Sometimes it hardly seems to more than toad shot. Each day does hold that one small miracle. We've been working here for 3 years, doing okay, but doing better when payday's near. Too much more of this just breaking even, and I think we may be for leaving. So help me, Hannah, help me please. There must be some true release. Help me, Hannah, help me please. Is it south now or is it east? I'm a grown man now and I've got my hopes. You've been around up to you know the ropes. We got no one waiting on us. Trust me this time, Penny, and forget about that buzz. You call the cab, I pay the fare. You Flipping for the tip, we'll call it square. There must be a standby flight, standby somewhere. Take us out of here tonight. Take us out of here tonight. Take us out of here. At night and I'm home we don't own. Drive to work in cars that are just on loan. Live by rules that other people make. Boil inside sometimes till your hands stop to shake. So help me, Hannah, help me please. There must be some true release. Help me, Hannah, help me please. And it's up now, or is it peace? Help me, Hannah. Help me, Hannah. Help me, Hannah. Is it up now, or is it peace?
Excellent. Thank you so much. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to encourage the audience to leave comments and questions, of course, and we will just stop to read those throughout. Not seeing any at the moment. There's lots of chat about sausages and bacon. Who knows why?
A lot.
Wow.
That's great. That's how.
loaded term in England. It's a loaded term here.
Well, everybody.
What the
Yeah,
discussion about sausages can mean all sorts of shit.
Actually, in England, if you make it plural, it's rude. Nice chairs, make it plural. Okay, I did. So that is really my kind of music. I loved it. Loved the harp as well. I'm a harpist. Even when I try anyway. Played in the blues band a little while ago. So I really love that. Love the guitar leads as well. Anyway, definitely something I love to listen to. Motley says harmonica.
Elna was saying she really liked it. She just wasn't quite sure what the English, because she's from South Africa, so she wasn't sure what the English word for harmonica was. So
it's harp.
Am I muted again?
No.
There we go. That should be a little better. Trying not to. How's that? Am I heard again?
Almost there. Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. The technical name for it is a harmonica. Is harmonica. However, it's actually a harp.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
One of our viewers from South Africa was just simply asking what it was, what the instrument was. She didn't know the English word for it. So.
Indeed. Okay.
It's a harmonica. I learned to play harmonica driving truck because there was no radio in the truck, and the longest, it was many hours a day. So I kind of picked up harmonica. It's actually helpful in writing songs to stay in key once you figure out what key your song's in. So when I was driving to work, I would write songs. Most of them are finished as I was pulling into the left turn bay to work. You kind of work out something into a cell phone, and so you didn't forget it because you knew that the workday would steal your brain for the day. So that's a harmonica, a gob iron.
Nice. I haven't heard that before, but I like that.
Gob iron, yeah.
I like that.
I like it.
Excellent.
Horn section.
There we go. Okay, let's move on to the next song, if you don't mind.
Oh, ready.
Yeah, well, we've got like just over 20 minutes left. I'd really like to hear what you have, guys. Here we go.
Right,
So,
we're gonna,
I'm sorry. What was that? Sorry.
which is a song I wrote, and I actually wrote this when I was spending some time in a criminal courtroom for reasons I'm not going to disclose at the moment, but that's where the idea for this song came from. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Long time ago in a distant place, it was a different kind of man. For reasons obscure, I robbed someone and I knocked him down. And some made me cry, some you don't, really can't tell, baby. I looked in his eyes, realized there was nothing to do but please, Lord, get me out of this jam. I think I'm starting to get it. I'm a changed man with a changing plan. Really think I'm starting to get it. Starting to get it. Can't hold sweat chilled me awake one dark September morning. I looked outside and there I saw him standing patiently watching. Made me safe, made me forget about all the things I done. Finally here, well, I kill you too, there's nothing to do but run. Please, oh, get me out of this jam, I think I'm starting to get it. I'm a changed man with a changing plan, really think I'm starting to get it. Starting to get it. Strange thing, it doesn't take much to twist and fall. A sentimental thought, her backward glancing into the passing snow. There's nowhere to go, nowhere to hide, there's nothing to do. Thing is, come to me, I'd love to go now. Please, Lord, get me out of this jam, I think I'm starting to get it. I'm a changed man with a changing plan, really think I'm starting to get it.
Excellent, thank you so much. So we got a.
Oh, they are out there.
They are. Unless Ryan tells a bad joke, and then they all leave. So we got Chris Lady says nice sound, reminds me of the band. Muttley says loving this riff, taps foot. And I
agree, indeed. Yeah, I loved all the band records. Levon Helm's, I think, 81st birthday just rolled by. And his daughter, Amy Helm, if you get a chance to see her out your way, wonderful performer, and just a great show to see if you catch that.
Also, we saw an Irish band once, and they were pounding, a shot of Irish whiskey a song. And I like that kind of out of control sound they got. And the only song on the album that there's any electric guitar on, which Mark cut some fairly radical, unhinged riffs on it, which is pretty cool. Fitting with that kind of inspiration.
Excellent.
I was being whipped in the studio, actually. I thought, well, is that really all that tasteful to do that? Oh, no, do more. So, I got.
And those are the best. The unhinged riffs are always the best.
I agree. Actually, my old friend Peter Draper, he's passed now, and he used to say, playing electric guitar, most fun you can have with your pants on.
It was interesting. There was a comment saying that from Muttley saying it reminds him of the band. I hear a lot of Neil Young in your music. I don't know if that's is that fighting words or is that it makes me immediately think of especially some of his earlier work, but Neil Young.
I spent a lot of time with. You go back before Neil Young. You spent a lot of time back with American and music from the 20s and 30s. I mean, I love the Carter family and all those old guys. A lot of this music comes from there and grows through guys like Neil Young and the band, and right through us and through a bunch of other people. I mean, that's the magic to music. That's where I love music. That kind of deep-rooted roots music, which brings it all from you name it, North American music, and the English Isles plugged into North America along with everything else, and here we are. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I
excellent.
think for me, I grew up listening to a lot of the singer-songwriters of the day. Jim Croce, for sure. Danny O'Keefe, he still lives down here in Washington State. People like, of course, Neil Young and Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, Leonard Cohen. And I think as a Canadian, a lot of that kind of seeps into your psyche, the way they process music and write music and perform music. It's there. It's a bit high and lonesome up here in Canada sometimes.
Indeed.
High all the time.
I've actually just I'm really appreciating a lot of Jim Croce's music. I stumbled on him by accident while watching the show Stranger Things. There's an episode that revolves around a character whose name is Jim, and they use "You Don't Mess Around with Jim" in the. So I was like, this guy sounds kind of interesting, and that's where I've learned to sort of listen to his album. I've listened to a couple of his albums, and his work is really starting to grow on me. I rather enjoyed Jim Croce. Actually, he's quite a great songwriter.
You would check out his son, AJ Croce. Well, he's a very talented fellow. Yeah, I think I saw a documentary a while back on Jim Croce, and it was interesting to hear, kind of his motivation and his life story. That's another thing I love delving into biographies of people. I'm in the midst of David Crosby's right now. It's quite a hard tale, but in the midst of it, you kind of you pick up, what it was like back in the day to actually be a musician, making a living at it, or trying to make a living at it, or keep your life together while you're doing it. Another great biography is Joni Mitchell's Reckless Daughter. And for many women who are in music, read that book. It just lets you know how savvy she was as a music person, as a woman back in the day. It was a great read.
Excellent. Okay. I think now is probably a good place to move on for another song. What do you think?
Oh, okay.
And if
whoever was given the comparisons to Neil Young, you'll pick that up on this one.
Oh, perfect. And while you're setting up, I just wanted to just shout out for Elna. I'm not Scottish, and I love calling kilts skirts because it really, really pisses off the Scots. Anyhow.
All right, you want to talk about fighting words there? Let's go. Come on.
Okay.
Don't involve me in any weird Scottish shit, man.
Okay, we'll let them talk about kilts in the chat, and then we'll hand over to our wonderful guests. Here we go. Well, it's all yours, guys.
So this one here, I had opened an ear to Nico Case a while ago, and kind of gorged on her records for a while. I think whatever the voice was, it was pretty captivating, and then the tunes. And I started to hear a lot of her tunes done in 3/4 time. So this one here is called 3/4 time. And the story that goes with it, in the summer a couple years ago, I was up near this area that zoning forgot, and it was middle of summer, and I looked at these Venetian blinds, and the Christmas cards were still in there. And I thought, wow, this guy is just so casual that he waits till sometime after summer to take his Christmas cards down. So anyways, here's the tune. Just give me a second. Got the intro. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Well, I had it before, now I don't. Missed it in a while, I won't. Could chase it down again, but what for? There's always something else. You want roses grow, they bloom for a while, seasons turn, in 3/4 holes in my pockets, the loonies slip through, love and money escaped me, so did you. Did alright without either, you know. Now I sway with the willows in 3/4 time. Roses grow, they bloom for a while, seasons turn, in 3/4 the stars had it right, left before daylight. I'm what an echo looks like, fading in 3/4 time. Christmas cards curled in lines, rolling up on the 1st of July. Urgency passed this place by. Things get a long time here in 3/4 time. 3/4 time. 3/4 time.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Mike. Oh, we are up. That's fantastic. Actually, I do love that that song. That's really nice. Actually, it did actually have someone said something about I think I forget who it was in the chat that did say something about Bob Dylan and playing a harmonica, and that did kind of remind me a little bit of Bob Dylan, Like a Woman, I think. Anyways, it was really nice.
I didn't describe it well enough then as a songwriter, did I? Hey, the song has a video. If you, I don't know if you received the link for that, but if you want to post that,
Sure.
the video is actually done by Bill Oliver from the Ormadales. Like, we're buddies from way back. Again, another connect through through my blues band network. He worked on the school board with Murphy, the drummer, who actually Mike knows. So there you go.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, we actually just to let everybody know, all of the links actually that you guys, or that Mark that you sent me, are in the description for the show. So hopefully it's one of those I just copied and pasted and put it in there. So links to Reverb Nation and I think Spotify, Facebook, and some videos, links are in there as well. So go check that out for everybody else. Elna says, very nice song, thank you. Muttley's, lots of clap, clap, clap icons. So that they seem to really enjoy that. Oh, and Muttley's posted the link. So there we go. He beat us to it. So excellent. Okay, so we've got 5 minutes left, and so we're not taking up too much time or much more. I think you have one more song. Can we, if we're not rushing you, can we get you to do that? That would be fantastic. I'm really enjoying the music today.
Thank you, Mark, very much for having us on. We're really in debt and grateful for the independent broadcasters, internet stations, community radio, all the people out in Canada and around the world who don't mind playing our music. And you've been so supportive, and thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. It's been great. And yeah, so let's hear that one more song, and then we'll all come back at the end, and then we'll wrap up. So thanks again.
Thanks, man. Thanks, guys. Nice to meet you. This is a nice blues tune, and everybody always asks, this is what you call a resonator. This particular one is a tricone. It's got 3 little metal cones in it, and plays like magic. So I hope you guys enjoy this one.
Yeah, one of the better things to do in New Orleans, and it doesn't cost a lot of money, is ride the streetcar line. It's a bit like the cable cars in San Francisco, but it runs, it's on a pretty much flat piece of land. And so I was in New Orleans pre-Katrina, post-Katrina as well. And it's an interesting place. Once you get there, it's a little bit spooky to begin with, and then by the time you're ready to leave, you're going, wait a minute, there's more to this place. All right, so this is where this one comes from. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. I'm waiting on the streetcar line. I've got $1.35. I'm waiting on the streetcar line. Today it's just heavy, it's oh sweet time. But I know it's gonna get me in there. Yeah, I know. Sure it's moving slow. Spent on taxi fare. I spent it all last night up on French Street. Had a time with my sweet petite. You can't call it a night on the town. The last song, last dance, last call, last round. Then you watch the moon go down. porch when I heard the rooster crow. She looked up and she whispered at me kind of sweet and low. She said, if y'all don't want to meet my folks today, I suggest you sashay away. So I'll be there fast, I didn't stick around. I told her I'll be back tonight before the sun goes down. I'm waiting on the streetcar line. I've got a quarter, got a dollar, got a dime. I'm waiting on the streetcar line. Today it's just taking its own sweet time, but I know it's gonna get me there. Yeah, I know. Show is moving slow. Look out, 2, 3, 4. Where I left her the night before. Swung round the back steps and I knocked on the door. I couldn't see anybody there through the window. Then I heard her mom from back in the shadow. She said, sorry son, it might grieve you to know. She left with a Pontiac in her guy about a half an hour ago. Yeah, just that much too slow. I got no Pontiac, I got no Tesla, I got no Vespa, I ain't got a skateboard, I haven't got a motorized bicycle. I'm waiting on the streetcar line, but I do got a $1.35. I'm waiting on the streetcar line, but it's taking its time. I know it's gonna give me the, yeah, I know tonight I'm going to tell yow, 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 yow. Streetcar line, on the streetcar line, that sweet streetcar line, yeah, the streetcar line, look out now. Last stop there, y'all. Mind the gap.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That was great. I was actually playing along. Anyhow, so what was that?
He's got a gob iron as well.
Indeed. Got a couple here. I do enjoy playing. The dogs were just howling at me through it as well. They don't like me playing, apparently.
They can't stand the sound of it. We did rehearse once for this, and my dog will curl up beside us, and I held up on the harmonica songs that night.
I would have enjoyed it thoroughly. So when I do play, we usually get the family will come down. My wife and my daughter will come down and just look at the dogs because it's hilarious when they do it. They are adorable. Okay, so thank you so much, Ryan. Your keyboard. I'm not going to tell you again.
I've never. This is the first time I think we've ever had complaints about it.
On air.
Complaints about it
on air, you've had complaints about it. Yeah. Anyhow,
on this show, on this particular show.
Personally, I like the sound. It's very relaxing. I like
it's a cheap rain stick. There you go.
You know the guys on Stirb, because they don't do Zoom calls at work all day, and they're prone to this kind of stuff. We get scolded for everybody please go on mute.
Excellent. So we I look at that song was very much enjoyed. It seems particularly Muttley, says that he just loves the guitar. It looks like a skewed Union Jack. I don't see it myself, but he's actually living in England, so he would know better than I. There we are.
It's the strap.
Oh, the strap. The strap. Okay.
Union Jack strap from my reggae.
There you go. I missed that completely. Oh, he did say strap. He does say strap. I completely missed it. I was too busy, I guess, playing along with my harp. Anyway. And
we're getting distracted by my typing.
Oh, the typing. Yes, naughty boy Ryan.
I like to hear.
Maybe a word to our UK viewers today. For the next 3 weeks, the Gravellers are going to be promoted out in the UK. And if you're listening to your local community radio station, you might hear a track from the Gravellers on there. We appreciate any feedback you can give the station. Just tell them to keep putting it on repeat play. And those streams add up.
Indeed. So keeping it out, everyone. Yeah, that's some great music there. And Muttley actually has our final statement here as thanks for another show. Thanks again for introducing me to more new music to listen to. It is genuinely a true joy to find something new to enjoy. Thanks to the guests for making music for the world to listen to. And so thanks for that, Muttley. That was great. Thank you. Much appreciated. And Elna says, great band, great show as always. So thanks, Elna. And so Elna's in South. We've been all over South Africa, UK, Winnipeg. I didn't see anybody else from anywhere else unless you did, Ryan. But either so,
no.
Truly international today, as usual.
Indeed.
Who's in South Africa? Is that Doozy?
What was that?
That's Elna is the one who's from South Africa.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd like to remind everybody, if you have enjoyed the show, please share it with your friends and family on your Facebook and through email or however. Word of mouth is fine too, but I'd like to direct your attention to the description of the video. Watch that keyboard, Ryan, I can hear it. On Facebook, if you look up to the description, you'll find all the links for the Gravellers, and if you look on YouTube, look down, you'll see everything there, all clickable links, super easy to get to, and if you haven't already, go and buy their stuff because it is fantastic. So thanks Mike and Mark for joining us. It's been last minute, but I think it came together really well in the end.
Thank you, man. It's been very enjoyable. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Exactly. If you guys want to hang around after the show, we'll just have a quick chat there before we say goodbye to you. But we'd like to say goodbye right now to the audience. Thank you so much for joining us. It's really a great pleasure to see you guys chatting amongst yourselves, particularly that long chat back and forth about sausages and bacon. Anyway, it's so thank you very much. We've got a nice community out there, and we'll catch you all next week, same time. We do have a song club for you tomorrow, 3:30 Central. Figure out your own time zone. And we'll see you back on The Invisible Man tomorrow at the same time. Okay, so then, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Oh, the invisible